If I decide that I've been in that boat.
Okay, get out the boat. Get back on this boat.
No, I had a job.
And you quit.
And no, I didn't. I resigned.
That's quitting.
It's not quitting. Quitting is I can't do the job. Resigning is I give my job back to you. I don't want it no more. No, that's the difference. I have no problems with somebody quitting the job.
So, because it was killing you.
So
why did you apply to the same job again?
Let's begin now.
Got my first job at Comcast. Mm-hmm. You was charging me $300 a month. Okay, what were you doing with that $300?
You got some daggone trust issues.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. I'm gonna tell you something. You can't.
Y'all was in there shopping together.
Do not get married.
Y'all was in there shopping together.
Do not get married.
Well, I'm Mike. This is my beautiful mom, Linda.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back to another episode of the Mike and His Mom Show. I'm Mike, and this is my beautiful mom, Linda, and her medallion that she has. And Shannon is here also.
Hey, you kept going on like with my medallion, and Shannon is here also. I didn't think I could say hello to the people today. How y'all doing, everybody? All right. Today,
I am on fire.
I can tell by that hat.
Yeah, he looks excited.
I am. This is going to be a good. I had some topics that I wanted to discuss that are thrown out the window. We're going to talk about something that's really been burning me on the inside over the weekend.
Ooh, okay.
And this, not just the weekend, but just in this journey of what I call life.
Okay.
So it may be long, it may be short, but this will be a good, healthy, inspiring, motivating conversation.
I tell you, because you done give the fist pump a couple of times.
Levels.
All right.
So, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I just want so you know.
All right, never mind.
It was good. I was going to ask, did you bring out with you today? I'm just, okay. All right. How was your weekend?
Weekend was fine. Foot was a little swollen over the weekend.
What happened?
Come on, we ain't got to tell the people all that.
You told me. Okay, all right. I
think it was cool. Saturday, I was home, resting, relaxing, and I hearkened back to a Facebook post I saw during the week from a friend of mine on Facebook who said, y'all need to check out this documentary.
Okay. What's the documentary?
Let me I'll get there.
Okay, all right, get there.
So Saturday, I left the office, ran some errands. What? I can't leave the office?
Yeah, you can leave the office. I don't know what office you're talking about. What your office?
Ran some errands.
Okay.
Came home, did some laundry. Relaxed, got my clothes out for church, and I had the rest of the evening to myself. And then God said, "Don't forget about the documentary."
Okay.
I said, "Okay." Let me cut this on. The documentary I'm referring to is called Maxine's a Baby, a Tyler Perry story.
Why you say Maxine's a baby?
Okay, my bad. Maxine's Baby, a Tyler Perry story.
Okay.
Now, if you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime. It's been out for a couple of weeks now, probably almost a month, if I'm not mistaken. Please go watch it. If you don't have Prime, buy Prime so you can watch it. I think it is one of the most inspiring, transparent, relatable pieces of content I've seen in a very, very, very long time.
Okay.
He tells us, it's a little lengthy, it's about 2 hours.
Yeah.
But he talks about his life, where he came from, how he grew up, and pretty much his path to success and where he is now. So I wanted to come in here and talk about that. Not the documentary in and of itself, but we'll pull from it. But just our path and our life and our path to success and what that journey looks like and how it unfolds over time. So I do want to start by saying I realized while watching it, I've never seen a Tyler Perry play. Have you? Yeah. Like live?
Did I see? I think I've seen one live, one here.
Yeah, I've never.
I've seen a live one. I think once.
I've never seen. I've seen his movies, of course, but I've never seen.
Yeah, I've seen a live one at least once. I may have seen it more than once, but I know I've seen one at least once. I don't remember which one it was.
Who were you with?
I don't remember.
See,
Yeah, I'm serious.
I know.
It was so long ago.
Yeah, because he started that a while ago. That was before he even did.
See, and that part I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was doing it in like the 90s, something like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I felt like he was talking to me
Okay.
throughout the whole documentary. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, he made. I mean, and when people do things like that, there is a message that they're giving to people. So, he was very well talking to you.
No. What I mean by talking to me,
Like just having a conversation with you.
yeah, Mike.
Right.
I thought he was saying my name.
Right, but
for
that's
the whole 2 hours.
but what I'm saying is that the feel that you want to give someone that's looking to move up, that's looking to expand their career, to expand in lifetime. So when you're doing something, when you go to do your documentary, make sure that you want to give someone that feeling, like this message is for you.
Yeah.
So who knows if that was his point, but that
Right.
they did
No, I see. I'm crazy enough to believe that was his point.
But no, I don't think that's crazy.
No, I'm talking to Michael Banks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you are crazy.
Okay, but just believe that. You know, I mean, one day when y'all talk, he could say, "Yeah, man, I was talking to you because you fit that criteria." You know, but however, just know when you do yours that there is someone out there that's waiting for you to give them this message too.
And it made me think about open mic. Watch.
It did too. It did.
Mm-hmm.
It did. It was like a long open mic.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it was.
But do you see what I mean when I'm like, you have to draw us in with all of that extra? Why are you looking at me?
Yes, I see. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So it made me think about open mic a lot. Just watching his story, because people's story, his story was. It wasn't even. Like sometimes I don't like watching that kind of stuff because it can be depressing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it wasn't.
It wasn't depressing.
It wasn't really. It wasn't depressing. It was just like, dang.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't know he went through that.
Went through so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
He overcame. Yeah.
It starts off by bringing up his childhood, and this is how we just relate to each other off the bat.
How? Okay, let's go.
And it's so funny he said it because I was like, no, this is childhood trauma.
Okay.
He had a little. He had a little.
Hello, what?
Nothing that might be good.
Right. Nothing.
What?
What? What he had?
His mom had a boyfriend that was giving out beatings. That's all.
Oh, please.
Husband.
But not a boyfriend. Yeah, but he thought it was his father, but it wasn't his father. He found out later on in life.
Yeah, but that was his father.
I can relate to the beatings. That's
Oh my
That's all I'm
God.
saying.
Go ahead.
I can relate to the beatings.
Okay. How can you relate?
That's why it was crazy when he thought he was like my PC.
We will see what we went through. That's exactly what I thought he was saying.
No.
No.
He was not saying it to you.
And
You weren't Tyler. I'm telling you.
to speed up the train, he started out, and this is another area I thought he was talking to me. He wanted to be a preacher.
Mm-hmm.
And did you know he went to Bishop Morton Church?
Yeah.
Growing up? Growing up. He grew up in the church.
I don't know. I didn't know he grew up in this church, but I know that it's his pastor.
Yeah, I didn't know that. He grew up in my granddaddy's, in his church.
Oh Lord. He loves
And listen, this is where this
So
is
it's
where,
another.
No, this is where it reminds me of me, because I wanted to be a preacher too.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought,
You wanted to be a preacher or a minister?
I'm going to be a preacher.
So you wanted to have your own church?
Yeah, I thought, that's no lie. I thought I was going to be the pastor of Woodlawn Baptist Church, and all my friends from high school was going to join my church, and I was going to be a pastor.
Oh, what's Woodlawn Baptist Church?
It's a church around the corner in Woodlawn.
Oh, it's a real church.
It's a real church, yeah.
Oh, you gonna be a pastor there?
At Woodlawn Baptist, yeah.
Don't count it out.
I'm good. But he went to preach his initial sermon, and Bishop Morton sat him down. He was up there cracking jokes.
Was he cracking jokes?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's what he was saying. I thought he was saying that.
Well, he was just being funny.
I didn't think he was being funny. I thought he was being for real.
Well, it didn't seem like he got the sermon out. It's just, to me,
He stopped him.
right, that's what I'm saying. He was up there.
He stopped him at that. He was like, no.
This ain't for you.
Get down. He stopped him. But I didn't think that it was a joke. Maybe I missed that part.
What? No, it wasn't a joke. He was serious.
It was.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying Tyler Perry was up there telling jokes, cracking jokes.
No, I'm saying I didn't realize that was what Tyler Perry was doing. I thought he was delivering.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
You think they're making people laugh and all that kind of stuff.
Oh.
And I was like, that is so me. That's what.
So what did he think? So did he realize that?
Your trauma and you were a jokester.
I wanted to be a preacher.
Training.
Yeah.
So y'all all life.
This is.
You just ain't slip outside no cars yet.
We'll get there.
But he knows someone who does. So
Right. So, look, you hear me say yeah.
He see. What else? There was just a lot of things that I have in common with Tyler that I didn't know. But he used his pain and what he went through in his life. I never made the connection in totality that a lot of his shows and his stories about some of the things he went through. And this is where I want to begin the conversation.
Okay.
Act 1.
Act 1.
Yes. Knowing what having a direct relationship with God. Because that part stood out to me. Because not just his mom taking him to church and his upbringing, but he developed his own relationship with God over time. And while doing that, he was able to tap into what he believed his purpose was. But I don't want to say he tried so many different things, because I can't remember what else he tried. But sometimes we don't know, so we're trying to figure things out, which was him thinking he was going to be a preacher. And it's not until we try and fail in one area that we realize, you know what, maybe this is what I should be doing. Go ahead.
I'm trying to say, dude, what was the age that he realized what he supposed to be doing?
I think it was in his 20s.
Okay.
And that's another important piece. We'll get, that's probably Act 2. But I want to continue the conversation with, 1, do you know what your purpose is? And 2, how long did it take you to figure out and actually tap into it?
So, I say my purpose, like that's so broad and so like, I know my purpose is to help others, is to minister, is to help other women to be better in their life. I do know that, but that's not summing it all up. Like there's a lot of things that I can do. I think uplifting and what's that word I'm looking for? Exhortation. Just helping people to see something different about themselves, and also in the area of healing, helping people to believe that if they overcome some kind of sickness or illness, that they can be healed. So I know that's 2 of them. When did I discover that the healing part? I discovered when I was diagnosed with breast cancer back in 2010. And I can say that the healing part I probably knew before that, but didn't really tap into it because I never liked sickness. I despise sickness, and I've always never even if I had to call out for work, I would never call out and say I'm sick. I would call out and say I want to use sick leave. I always want to use my leave because I didn't want to put that on me, because I knew then that if you speak something that you could actually put it over your life. So I never wanted to put it over my life. And that's why even with y'all, when y'all was growing up and stuff like that, if y'all said y'all was sick, you had to stay in the house. You couldn't go outside and play. So that's one thing that I kind of knew but didn't know, if that makes sense.
No, I got it.
Kind of tapping into it now. So that's, I guess, 2 areas. But I believe it's more. Like doing this show is something. This is purposeful. This show is purposeful. There is some purpose in it. There is something that some people are going to get out of this. So this is a purpose too. And just, I don't know.
That's good. I think I know what my purpose is.
What's your purpose?
If I had to sum it up, I would say.
Oh, have to sum it up.
My purpose is to display the love of God through my creativity. That's what my purpose is.
That's what I just said.
No, it's not.
I just didn't say it like that.
And it took me a long time and this is where I connect with Tyler. It took me a long time to put definition to it.
So when you say that, to display the love of God through your creativity, so is there too far of a way to go, or not enough? Can you go overboard with it? Do you think that you can sometimes go overboard with displaying the love of God through creativity, or some people not, or you can be afraid to tap into different areas? Like he tapped into what the community need. He tapped into what the people were looking for. So do you think that there is something out there that you can tap into, like, they missing this right here, or can you go too overboard, like with some different topics, or understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think overboard, I'm not gonna say. I think you can just be out of
the realm.
Out of place with not in alignment. That's what I want to say. You can be not in alignment. Mm-hmm. Now, who's to say? Because you can define what your purpose is, but who's to determine of the how and how it looks and how it all comes together? I think that's between you and your relationship with God.
So how can you say that you're out of alignment? What would give you the feel that you're out of alignment?
Are you asking me personally or just in general?
Yeah, just personally. What would give you what would
the courage of my convictions? Like I would know, like, all right, bro, you doing too much. Like, this ain't
okay.
Like, what's the point of you doing
this and
this?
that? Yeah, okay. What about being one way in one segment and in a different way in another segment?
Well, and but that's where, okay. Well, I think that's where the God's love comes in, because I'll use myself as an example that I can have a show with you, and I'm gonna be one way doing the show with you because you're my mother, but not one way. But I'm not, because I don't think anybody's just one way. But I'm not gonna act the same way I do with you at work with my friends. I'm not gonna. That's not how life is. So if I'm sitting there having a talk show with my mother, it's gonna be different than me having a talk show with my homeboy.
But why you gotta be different?
I'm not different, and that's the thing.
You just said it.
No. I'm not gonna sit here and just be ignorant with you. Like, that's.
Oh, you gonna be ignorant with them?
That's not what I'm saying.
You mean have a level of respect?
Right, exactly.
So you're not gonna have a level of respect.
Stop. You're trying to find the hole. What I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I can connect with people in all different walks of life because I've had those walks of life.
Okay, in different ways.
Right. So I can sit down and talk to you and talk to my guys who are rooted in church and talk to the guys that I grew up with. I can have, and that's where that's where the love of God comes in.
So, okay, but what does that look like? So for instance, I have people in all walks of life too. But when I sit down and talk to them, I still talk to them how I'm talking now.
So you're saying, like, when the apostles would go to different places, they adapted.
The apostles?
The disciples. Yeah. When they in the Bible, when they went to like Korea.
This is where we're going here?
I'm trying to get, you said the different walks of life.
Go ahead,
so
okay.
how they tried to, they didn't. What?
No, go ahead.
They didn't become like the culture, but to a point they kind of adapted to the culture so that they can get the message across.
But how did they adapt to the culture?
Well, I see what you're saying.
Adapt might be the wrong word, but they, in some way, just didn't.
They didn't become them.
Put the culture down. But
right.
Respected the ways of the people.
But you can respect their ways, but don't become them.
Right. Respect the ways in order to be able to deliver.
A message.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so where were we at?
Is that what you mean?
Sure.
Okay.
But. Well, I think it's a very good challenging question because it does tie into purpose. Because, like I said, it all has to deal with being aligned. Now, I'll say, if I could connect it to Tyler, and what I grabbed from that is his was just real blanket of this is how I grew up, and I'm going to tell the story about my individual life. And it just so happens, but
I don't even think he meant to do that.
What?
He didn't. He subconsciously was creating.
Right, exactly. And it just so happens that everybody in our culture can relate to it. So it worked. Like, everybody has a similar story to what Tyler Perry was either writing about or what he went through. And are we done with Act 1, Purpose?
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's your flow.
Go ahead. You want to move on to Act 2?
Act 2.
If we had to come back to Purpose, we'll come back.
I didn't even know about these acts.
Right.
Act 2.
How many acts are there?
I'll figure it out like that. Act 2 is the plan. And this is where I connect with him as well. Because he had a job. I didn't know he had a job. He was writing plays and it wasn't working out. And he quit his job and moved to Atlanta. If I'm getting it right. I hope I'm getting it right. Moved to Atlanta. And
if not, we'll come back next week.
His plan was to just do that. And I think sometimes we want to accomplish our goals and our dreams, but we're just moving. Like, there's no plan. And I know I found myself just believe in God for something.
He had a plan because he went to Atlanta.
No, I know. I'm saying he had a plan. Right? He had a plan.
He's talking about him not having a
me
plan.
personally now, and sometimes people we just believe
Just
God,
believe God for this.
foolishly, and we rely on faith, but we don't even have our own. We don't even have a plan to get it done. A plan to get it done.
And he say write the plan, make the vision, write it. Yeah.
So I remember when I first resigned from Comcast, I resigned without having a plan. I just knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how to execute it, or if it was even what I really wanted to do. Right? Because now I look back to it, maybe I just want to just get out of that job and not really pursue what I was pursuing full time. I just needed to do something else. And I put that on, well, this is my dream. I'm going for it. Because since then, my dream has changed almost 45 times.
But you're back at it, I think.
Well, yeah, but because now it's more aligned with purpose. And that's why they all connect. You can have a plan, but what's the plan for? What's the plan about? You can have a purpose, but you ain't got no plan with a purpose. Then what you doing it for? So I think it's important to kind of have that thing spearheaded. And I think he did a very good job of depicting what he wanted and how he was going to go about achieving it. Now my question to the floor, the audience, do you feel like you wanted to accomplish something but didn't have a plan to do so? You were operating foolishly.
Just foolishly. Yeah, I've done that. And not even working towards it. Just thinking it's going to happen. Just getting tired of trying to work towards it. If I worked towards it and made a plan, the plan didn't work. The plan wasn't the right plan. And then just threw up the cards in the air and let them fall where they fall. And just didn't happen.
And it's...
And you know what's another thing that's so... When they say... Like from the day now, look where your life is going. What you doing now will tell you where you're going to be at 5 years from now.
Why just tell you? I just told you that before she came downstairs. I just told her that.
But it's so true.
Josh had a friend who he posted something about Josh on Facebook. And I was like, oh, I remember him. And I was like, is he home? He was in prison for a while. He was like, yeah, he home. He did about 15 years. And I was like, 15 years? And he was like, yeah, he was in 15 years. I was like, 15 years? Like, I remember this guy vividly. He always with Josh, was always with him. And I was like, he's been gone for 15 years and we're still here? I said, oh no. I said, he's free. I feel like I'm the prisoner. And because time really goes by that fast.
Wait, slow down. Because that's act 3.
Oh, sorry. You get cut.
What were you saying?
I was just saying. I mean, even a year, you can. I'm telling you, I'm not even looking. I'm looking 5 years. I'm looking back 2 years ago. How life has really changed and not gotten better from where my point of view for me. It's not that it's gotten worse, but it sure has increased in value and success, from 2 years ago. There's been a lot of ups and downs, and the ups and downs turned into more downs, and because there wasn't a good plan, there wasn't a good how I'm going to get through this, or how even for the unknown that may occur in life, whether it's finances, whether it's something health, whether it's something bereavement, whether it's, where's your mind going to take you when life just happens? Do we think about all this stuff? Is all this stuff mapped out? How do you keep moving forward? Yeah.
And it's frustrating because part of my process was I thought I had a plan until I realized I didn't have one. And it's frustrating because you're trying to figure this thing out and nothing is working, but you only can be mad at yourself for not properly planning of how you want to achieve those goals. And Tyler's story, when we see like success stories, like we just see them now. That's why it was so beautiful for him to tell that story.
You don't see behind the scenes.
You don't see behind the scenes, but they go through every emotion of I want to quit. I want to quitting. I get because he He
basically
he quit. He went back to work, got a job.
Someone called.
And
he said no. But then he wound up.
And he wound up going back out.
Just going back and doing it.
And he quit his job and went back out, and now he's where he is now.
And that was the actual call that put him on the
exactly.
That like made
put him on the map.
Basically, he was already. This is the beautiful thing about it is that he obviously was already on the map.
And didn't know it.
It just didn't manifest in his reality, but people were already knowing about him. That even when he has these shows where like only 30 people or 12 people showing up, they're like, "Hey, we want you to come." From a 30 people show, they saw value in something that he didn't. He started to lose value in because it didn't appear to be.
Yeah, it didn't blow up right away
because the audience wasn't there. But like that's another thing I don't want to keep because I might be going into Act 5.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to really not. We don't got to unpack it, but to be aware of that is that. Because there have been times on my journey where I've quit. I feel like giving up. But I also realize how hard it is to start over.
Start back over.
I had to actually grow to a place of I hate starting over. Like, I'm sticking with it. I stop. Even not even just my goals. We can just go to weight loss. Like, we can go to anything. Like,
right.
I'm sticking with it. I find myself in a slump and I got to start all over again. And now I'm back. I mean, I'm not even.
You're literally starting over because you're back at that weight.
I'm not even back at square one. I'm not even. Not just throwing a number out. I'm not even 225 now. I'm 240s. Now I'm way more than what I ever did.
Right.
Now I got to work 3 times as hard. And that's where I grew frustrated. Like
starting.
If you keep, and this sounds so like easy, but it isn't. But if you keep going, you will never have to start over.
Right.
You may have to rearrange some things, figure out a new strategy, or whatever the case is. But as far as starting completely over, you'll never have to start over.
Yeah.
They say keep failing forward.
Exactly.
Like with exercise.
Look at that.
Like with exercise, I feel like even if you don't do that whole regimen, like I worked out hard the whole entire summer, but now that the kids are back in school, I don't even want to work out that. I don't like working out like that anyway. But I had the time. It's like okay, but still get up, walk, lift some weight. Like don't stop
stop doing something else.
Yeah,
right.
Then when it's easier to get back into that hardcore working out because I never stopped working out. Like even if you walk, just do a couple planks. Just 10 minutes. I mean, literally while I'm in the kitchen cooking, I'm working out. Like I'm just making it a part of my routine. I'm getting the look. I'm talking too much.
She's in Act 4.
Oh Lord, you done took Act 3 and 4. Okay, let's go to Act 3 then.
No, hold up.
Okay, hold up. What?
I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
That's fine. Act 3. The concept of time is what stuck out to me in this documentary. When I was in grade school, I remember you and I had a meeting with our pastor. I was being bad in school. And no, wait. Him and I had a conversation first about why I was being bad in school. And I told him I was being bad in school because it makes the time go by faster. and then you and I had a meeting. It was a Wednesday morning Bible study. We went in there, we had a meeting after the Bible study with him. And we went back in the office, and then he asked me again, why do you keep being bad in school? And I said, because it makes the time go by faster. And he said, you really believe that? Because this is the second time you told me. And I said, yeah. That was the dumbest thing I've ever said in my life. But
Was it true?
No.
Well, no. No, because the time is going to move how time is going to move.
Right.
But you're constantly moving, so maybe in your mind.
That's not true, though.
What I grabbed from this beautiful story is that I didn't know when he was taking off, like doing the play, he was 28 years old. And now he's either in his 50s. So it's been a while. It's been a long time. But that's the thing about time, right? Is that we think it takes a while, but if you keep working,
right? So he's 28, 38, 40. So he's been over 20 years.
But it went by just like that.
Because that's time goes by just like that.
And the Lord redeems that time.
And thank you.
Uh-huh.
So
Thank
you don't
you.
even feel like
You don't even feel like the time.
Like you lost all that time.
You don't feel like
You
lost
lost right.
all that time because the Lord redeemed it.
Yeah.
Give it back to you 100-fold, 1,000-fold.
Well, I think this is what makes the concept of time hard, is because we're not patient enough to wait on the results. Like we're working, and it's year 1, it's year 2, it's year 3, and I don't see anything from it. Year 4, like we say, he's just almost 18 years in with this guy, with Tyler, and now he is where he is.
Who? Tyler? More than 18 years.
Well, I'm just saying.
But he's been. What do you mean?
Well, I'm saying from 28 to 50 something. It's more than 18 years.
28, 38, 48.
20. Oh yeah, almost 20.
Yeah.
I was bad at.
20 years,
See, I should have been paying attention in school. I was bad at math. I was being bad.
Not adding it up.
But you'll feel like you're doing this all for nothing because the results aren't coming as quickly as you would like them to.
But the results are there little by little.
And they are.
Yep, little by little. Results first come in, I believe, it might not appear in the stuff happening, but it can appear in you. The change in you. There's a change in you. Your mentality. Then, okay, I see you still working at this. I see you still doing it. I see you still doing it. Now I'm going to open that window. You can record again. I just shut the window back down. But just it's our mind. If you can discipline yourself. There's this thing that says if you don't work to make your own dream a reality, you're going to keep working to make theirs a reality because you're going to work.
And God told me the other day, and I put it on Facebook. Sometimes we lack the patience to see the results because we're not in love with doing the work.
All right.
If you become in love with doing the work, then you'll be patient enough to wait for the results. And he was in love with the work and the story because it was his.
The story.
And that's a good point. I think that we love the work, but we really love the work because we want the
result. Right, exactly.
Result.
But do you really love the work?
Right, and I think we do, but we love the reward better. We want the
reward
more than we want to do the work.
But do you love it enough to keep going? Like, do you love it enough to keep going? When and that's what I'm saying. You gotta love it. You gotta love it that much.
Well, you have to be in it for the work.
Right, you have to love doing the work that much. If I don't see a reward in a year, I'm gonna still go.
Right.
In 2 years, I'm gonna still go.
Like the Lord is my provider, so whatever I do, just put my all in it.
Yeah. Amen.
Hallelujah.
It was something like I think it's like anything you do with your hands, do it with all your might. Something like that I heard, and I think there's like a scripture around that. Like, do it with your hands. Do it like with excellence. So it's like what you're saying. Like if I'm gonna do it, and I don't have control with I don't have control over how I'm rewarded. Like just understanding that part. Even people who do bad, like God allows them to reap reward. He's allowing it all to happen. So at the end of the day, I said, well, I don't have control if I'm rich or not. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I started to look at things. So just do the work and do it with joy.
Do it. Which goes into Act 5.
We have the 4.
Oh, 4. I'm sorry. Act 4.
That's the math.
I know.
Playing in school.
Time flew right past.
1 + 1 is 6.
Act 4 is starting.
That should have been Act 1, shouldn't it?
No.
Right. Well, maybe it should have. But these are in order.
Okay,
all right.
Start.
Okay, I got you.
No, and I'm saying just starting.
Okay.
Just getting started.
Just getting started.
Just start.
So
like sometimes you get confused. Where do I start at?
see, yes.
Where do I start with?
Listen.
I'm in this space now. I'm not going to say anything.
Listen. This happened to me in the office.
Which office? I know you in the principal's office or Bishop's office. You in your office.
Yeah. In mine.
You be in a lot of offices.
Every day I go into the office. And can y'all stop?
All right. You stop going into the office.
Every time I go into the office and I see my workload, I have to condition myself or tell myself to not get discouraged.
Okay.
I spend, and God is talking to me about this now with some other things I'm about to get back into. We spend the most, we spend, I don't want to say most of our time, we exhaust a lot of energy trying to figure out, where do I start? Instead of just starting. Just start. Just
chill.
Start somewhere. And then as you continue to work, you'll figure out, okay, boom, boom, boom. And you look up and the job is done. That happens to me. It happens to me every single day. It happens to me every single day, is that my mind is being conditioned. And that's why Act 4, we on? Starting and pay attention. Because in order for Tyler to, as traumatic as those stories or his experiences were, he had to pay attention to everything that was happening to him and around him, and how it made him feel. In order to really harbor those like to put that on screen, he had to pay attention to his emotions in order for him to get it out. And sometimes we just go through life, just going through life, when everything in life, in my opinion, connects. Like, we don't just live life just for the sake of living life. We ain't going through something just for the sake of going through something. Like, pay attention. That's literally a lesson in every. God, to me, God speaks through everything. And every day in the office, and God told me, my mind is being trained to start, finish, and get the job done. Because.
And it's kind of good that you are in this type of industry right now, because you don't leave until it's done, right?
I can't leave until it's done.
Right. So you actually are there from start to finish every day. It's not like some jobs where you can leave, come back the next day, and somebody else on the next shift will finish it.
And if I'm putting that much energy into this, then I can transfer all that energy into this by simply just starting.
And finishing and getting the job done.
Jesus. Sometimes all we gotta do is just start, people. Sometimes all it takes is just starting. Go ahead. Anything you want to say?
No. You said it perfectly.
Okay. What was it, Act 4? What was 5?
We don't know. I think that was 5.
Oh, no. 5.
5. Grace?
Yes, no. It ties into it. Because and this is the beautiful part about Tyler's story, is that
this is no beautiful part, because you had to be.
Because all we see, if you pay attention, like really pay attention, all we see in the front is Tyler. That's all we see. It's his success, his whatever he got going on. We see him. His name we see him. But if he wouldn't have stayed the course and did what he was called to do, then all of the lives he impacted would not be.
Yeah. He helped a lot of people.
It was a stat in there, or a number they said, like, even with him just building his studio or something, it created all this revenue, all these jobs, like the money for the, like, I can't remember what the number was.
It brought up the
property value.
Values in the house.
This one little boy from New Orleans.
Maxine's baby.
Maxine's baby.
Did but all we see is just his name in the credits, getting the awards. But the jobs he created from just construction. Ain't nobody thinking about that. Construction, like designing. I'm sure it was his, but he ain't down there just, you know what I mean? Like, he got to pay somebody to do all that stuff. Decorating. Like, he ain't up there just hanging up pictures by himself. Like all of that, all the writers, all the cast, just all of that. Because
it's a domino effect.
Because when God gives us something, it's not he's just not giving it to us just for us.
Yeah. It's always going to help someone else. It's always going to bring about somebody else's dream. Just like when you said, you felt like he was talking to you. When he did that documentary, he was talking to you. He was calling your name without calling your name.
No, he said my name.
Well, he was calling it without him saying Michael Banks. He was sitting there saying Michael Banks.
No, he said it.
No, but I'm going to the spiritual side of it now, though. Without him really saying Michael Banks, he was saying Michael Banks. And if you could ever have a conversation with him.
Well, when I have a conversation.
Yeah, well, when you have the conversation with him, he'll joke you first, like he did when he was doing his initial sermon. Well, I wasn't calling your name. You see, I'm talking. I didn't know who he was. And I saw you show with the little orange hat on, the 3 stars.
First of all.
Okay. I was saying Michael Banks. Now, who name were you gonna call?
And that's a good question. Because you don't know who you impact.
Mm-hmm.
And
but it's nice to come to this revelation that after all you've been through, after the things that you said you wanted, and to get to here and to know that it's not too late. It's just nice to come to this revelation and say it's just not too late. Something can become of this, that all you're doing, all you're putting your plow down, going into the office, starting, finishing, getting the job done, starting, finishing, getting the job done on a day-by-day basis, which impacts everything else. I'm starting, I'm finishing, and getting the job done. It might take a day, it might take 2 days, it might take a week, it might take a month, 3 months, a year, 2 years. But what I do know is that the job is getting done. And I will be one day calling, or I am not one day, I'm calling somebody else's name now, even before I get to that point. Because somebody else could be seeing this show right now and could be feeling what you felt when Tyler Perry, the documentary. You don't have to actually necessarily be a Tyler Perry in his position right now.
Yeah.
It can be somebody that anybody. Anybody. It could be somebody walking down the street that can give you a word, that can say something to you and can change your life forever. So I just hope by people watching our show that there is something that come out of this that will help you to see something different and better in your life and go for it.
I agree. And one thing that stood out to me is that the documentary didn't talk about it, but I don't know if he had friends. Like what his
social life was like?
Not so, but the
like was he like had tunnel vision? He was so focused.
Right, like like the power of influence is real. And it doesn't talk about like his upbringing as far as who he's hanging around, who he was with, and it doesn't. I didn't really, to me, I didn't see it get into all that. Like it was just him, his cousins, and him just pretty much just being streamlined on I'm doing this. But I bring that up because I think that's important, because who you have around you. This is what I want to say. I ain't even gonna say it like that. I'm me personally. Me. It just speaks to me. And I pray somebody else feels the same way. You catch it. But
okay.
You gonna have to step up and get left behind if you in my space.
Say again?
You gonna either step up or get left behind.
Oh.
If you in my space. Because
everybody isn't
in my listen, this is what I mean by that. In my space. This is what I mean by that. Is that I am in a space where it's now time for me to be the influence in a positive way.
Influencer or influence?
Be the influence amongst the people who are connected to me. So it's my job to now rub off on you, and rub off on you, and rub off on my friends here and my friends there. Like, because I don't want to say that. But yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I want everybody to catch this fire that I have.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. 3 stars.
Because you know why? You know why?
Why?
It's a lot of...
Look, you know why? Why?
It's a lot of life to live out here, man. It is.
It's a lot,
it's a lot of stuff. This is what I want to end on.
Okay.
Folks is out here...
we finished the acts?
Yeah,
okay.
All the acts wrapped up. Folks is out here. Well, I'm gonna speak for me. I've spent a lot of my time in life doing a lot of getting. I've been getting women, getting mixy.
No,
this is just me. I've been getting women, getting mixy, getting drunk, getting in my feelings, getting emotional, getting off track, getting distracted. But now, It's time to start getting focused. I'm still getting.
Oh, you got it.
I'm still getting, but I'm getting something different. It's time to start getting something different. Getting focused.
I think you was already focused.
Staying focused.
Okay.
Getting some ambition.
I thought you already ambitious.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Getting some drive.
He wasn't, cause
Getting some drive.
Getting some drive.
Getting some money. Like getting some purpose. Like let's start getting in the other direction.
Okay. Let's start getting there.
All this getting I was doing.
But you wasn't getting the right
I
thing.
wasn't getting nothing. Wasn't getting nothing.
Getting nothing. And you ain't got nothing to show for it.
And you all that getting ain't got nothing to show for. So let's get this, everybody. Let's get something. Okay. We're gonna have something to show for it.
Okay.
So
Let's get something. Not the rumbling in your stomach, Shannon.
So if all hearts and minds
Minds are
clear. Living life. And today I mean this is my benediction. I mean this today.
I can tell you had this balls up like, you know.
it's like the king.
Right.
I mean it every time I say it, but I mean it today.
Right. Wait. You mean every time you say what you mean today? So there's more force behind today. There's more purpose behind. There's more purpose behind today.
No, I said 2 years ago, but I mean it today.
Right.
Living life is the longest thing we'll ever do in the shortest amount of time. And we only get one. So whatever your purpose is, whatever your goals, dreams, and desires are, please go out and get the job done. His name, not my name.
We know it ain't your name.
His name is not Tom Cruise. It's Jesus Christ, because there's no such thing as mission impossible. Because through Christ, we can do not some things, not a little bit of things, but all things through Christ that strengthens us. I am Mike. This is my mom. That was Shannon. And this is another episode of the Mike
and his mom show.
We're gonna have a good day.